everyone, and today I'm taking a look at Star Wars Clone Wars 2003. And before you say, but Sean, aren't you taking a look at Star Wars The Clone Wars, the CGI show? Well, I will take a look at that show and movie next time, but for right now, I want to take a look at this animated TV show, simply titled Star Wars Clone Wars, because a lot of people actually forgot this show existed. I won't blame them since this show was originally canon, but it's not anymore. The Clone Wars TV show is canon instead of this, but still, this show was mostly made during the time between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, and this show is just made to say, okay, here is all the stuff that happened between Attack of the Clones and Sith, and yeah, this show was released as sort of like these small minute vignettes. In fact, some of the episodes were like 3 to 5 to 7 minutes long, but in the last season they got the episode length cranked up to like 15 minutes, I think. So yeah, what's the plot of the show? Well, I said it already. The show is about what happened between episode 2, Attack of the Clones, and what happens in Revenge of the Sith. We see Anakin going from a Padawan to a Jedi Knight, and we see in one occasion that he sees a glimpse of the future where he becomes Darth Vader. And also the fact that this show has a lot of two different tones. Like, for example, in the first season, it's mostly about action. In the second season, they do have this entire full stage invasion on Coruscant to get the Chancellor as a way of going into episode 3, but there's also a storyline with Anakin and Obi-Wan going to free this planet. And I do like the symbolism they do use for these monsters, like how these are men who were turned into these monsters because they wanted power, sort of like Anakin and his eventual turn to the dark side in Revenge of the Sith. So it's actually pretty good in my opinion. And also, this show was made in 2D animation. I gotta say, the 2D animation for this show is really good. The person who made the show also made Samurai Jack, which is pretty cool in my opinion, and a lot of the details in this show is really cool. My favorite small little detail in the show is when during the fight between Ventress versus Anakin, when the rain starts to go down, you can see how the water from the rain would evaporate on the lightsabers. I'm like, okay, that's a cool small little detail. And also, this show introduced a lot of new and fan favorite characters. This show was the introduction to characters like Asajj Ventress, who we'll get more into in the Clone Wars review, but she was only here to be like showing Anakin's descent into the dark side, and of course General Grievous. And I gotta say, when I watch this show and the Clone Wars TV show, it kind of makes movie Grievous look kind of weak. Don't get me wrong, he's still awesome in the movies. But here's how he introduced himself in this show. He murders Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. I'm not even joking. Take a look at how his introduction goes. And what does Grievous proceed to do? Take on 6 Jedi Knights, kill 3 of them, and only 3 of them survive, with 2 of them being on life support. That is how brutal Grievous is in this show, and that was when he only had 2 arms, before he got his lower 2 in the final episodes of the show. And I do like the small attention to detail they did, where like when he's leaving with the Chancellor, Mace Windu destroys like his basically like his breathing apparatus, so that's why he's coughing a lot in Revenge of the Sith. So that's a small detail I really liked. But still, Grievous does not care. In fact, around the end of the show, he grabs a clone trooper with his foot and smashes their head in on a wall. If this show continued, he probably would have stabbed a guy in the eyeball with his lightsabers. Seriously, Grievous, you are not in an R-rated show, but I kind of love you for that, Grievous. Like, seriously. Bravo, Grievous. Bravo. But yeah, also, I do really like how this show is mostly visually telling you the story. I mean, sure, there are a lot of dialogue moments, but a lot of the time, it's pure silence, in my opinion, and that's really cool. Probably the best one is probably with, Anakin versus Ventress, since when they, basically at the start of the fight, Ventress says, "Your destruction will make me become a Sith Lord." And after that, there was no dialogue until the end of the battle, where Anakin lets out a lion's roar, basically saying, "Ah, I won the fight!" And there's even this cool moment where he's pounding on Ventress's lightsaber, and we see flashes of Obi-Wan, Qui-Gon, and Yoda, and it's just great. It is just perfect in my opinion. And the action scenes are really cool in this show. My personal favorites are the Battle of Coruscant, but it makes me wonder, if the Jedi are so OP in the show, why not just have them do the fighting in the movies? Like, seriously, you can probably wipe out a droid army in like 2 seconds by the show's logic. Some of my favorite moments were Kit Fisto's underwater battle, though this does make me wonder, in Revenge of the Sith, imagine what happened during Order 66. They have Kit Fisto getting killed underwater. Since that would be kind of a cool, we see him on like an underwater battle, but when Order 66 happens, he swims, he sleeps with the fishies. That was a horrible pun. I am so sorry for that. But still, there's also a lot of cool action in my opinion, especially where like Mace Windu, I'm not even joking, he punches the crap out of a droid, destroying it. He doesn't even need a lightsaber. That is so awesome in my opinion. Also, another special shout out goes to the Ventress versus Anakin duel, and of course, probably my favorite one in the show, the Jedi versus Grievous battle. That battle was just perfect. I do like a lot of the humor, and a lot of the voice actors are pretty cool. And also, we get a really good romance between Padme and Anakin in this show, and it's even further shown in the Clone Wars TV show. The person they get to voice Obi-Wan in the show sounds almost like Ewan McGregor a lot of the time, and it's really well done. And yeah, this show is really cool. In fact, you can probably watch this show in about 2 hours. In length, this show is around 2.5 hours long, the average length of a Star Wars movie. So if the show was still canon, it would be technically episode 2.5. Though I do have some problems. There are some battles you're probably not going to be interested in, like me. But there are a lot of cool moments to overweigh the negatives. So overall, I'm probably going to give the show maybe an 8 or a 9 out of 10. It's that good of a show in my opinion. If you haven't watched the show already, go check it out. It's a really good show. It's not as good as Clone Wars in my opinion. I mean, the Clone Wars, but it's definitely better than stuff like Rebels, which I like Rebels, but still. So with that being said, what did you think of Clone Wars 2003? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Post your comments down below, and see you all next time as we take a look at Star Wars, The Clone Wars, the movie. See you all later, and bye.